Let's have a look at exercise 2.3, recording macros. First of all, what is a macro? A macro is to help you to automate certain input. For example, if you have a very tedious job, say you have to write down Monday to Sunday again and again in your daily job, you probably just as well want to have a shortcut key. For example, Control D, Control R, Control T to automate certain input. This is what macro can do to help you in your business life to automate some tedious work. There are many ways to implement a macro. Some could be very complex. In this case, we only give you an example of a very simple macro, how to record a macro like Monday to Sunday, and you can use it again with a shortcut key. So first, we need to find the developer tools on your screen on your Excel in the ribbon, but we don't see a tab called developer. So first of all, we need to add that. So here we need to go to files and then options and then customize ribbon. The step-by-step guide is written on your syllabus, so you can also have a look at that. So customize ribbon, and here we can see we can choose from many options. Most of them are already there. There's the same as these ones, and we need to select developer and click OK. We have developer here now, and here we can see record macro and have a look at all the macros that's already stored, etc. So we follow the instruction. First thing you need to click on is this one, use relative references. The difference between clicking on this one or not clicking on this one is quite large. So for example, if you have Monday to Sunday written on your Excel, but you didn't select relative references, what it will do is that every time you command the Excel to repeat what you have done, it will go back to the original cell and cover these original cells again. So no matter where you want your input to be, once you run the macro, it always goes back to the original cell. That's probably not handy. So we should use relative cell references. So now if I want Monday to Sunday to be shown up here, then we can just have it here. And if my mouse is here, it also can show up here. So this one, first step, very important. Click on it. You see it's gray now. It means it's already clicked. And the next step, record a macro. Before we record the macro, we have the chance to define the name of the macro. We write down here, list workdays. And here you see the shortcut key. As recommended from the syllabus, we choose D. So later on, once we recorded the macro, we can have Control plus D. So if you type on these two buttons, you can just run the macro automatically. And sometimes if the Control D is already taken, it will automatically recommend the next possible shortcut key setting, or you can choose another one. And these might differ if you use a different version of operating system. For example, using a MacBook, this could be Command plus D or Command plus Shift plus D. It depends on your machine. But you can be sure that if you go on Citrix, we will always have the same version. And store macro in this workbook description, you can write something. We skip this part for now. And now we see that this button changed to stop recording. So that means it's already recording now. It doesn't matter how slow we are with the process. In the end, when we run the macro, it'll be very fast. So now we give the input. We'll write down everything once, so later on we can use it again and again. Okay, you see we end up in D11, one extra cell, and stop recording. Yes, that's it. If you go to the macros, you will see the list workdays already stored there. We can run the macro from here, or we can type the Control D on your keyboard, then it will also run. But since you cannot see my keyboard, I'll just run it through here. Let's just choose. So let's choose the cell for the macro to start with, and then go to macro and run. Oh, it goes to the other cell. Do you know why did that happen? Because when we start recording, our cell was probably here. And then we moved to here, then started recording. But we already started recording when the cell was selected here. So what it does is that it always choose the cell that we selected before, and then go back 2 cells and go up 1 cell or 2 cells, and then repeat what we have done. So it records exactly what we have done when we recording the macro. With that in mind, probably next time when you record a macro, make sure do not change cells after click on record macro. So we have the macro. Let's see the next step. We have tried to run it through the macro list, and we know that the macro records exactly everything. And the next step for you to try by yourself is to test what's the difference between having this one selected and not having this one selected. I explained briefly just now, but now it's time for you to try. Unclick this and record another macro and reflect on the differences. And then you know next time or every time when you record a macro, you should always have this one selected. This is exercise 2.3. I'll see you in the next video.